Wow, that's
Ned actually went to Vietnam.
When you're in Vietnam, I bet you never imagined that 40 years later you'd be on Bubba the Love Sponge.
Well, not only that, but he actually
Vietnam was a party compared to this.
Yeah, he liked going. He loved going to Vietnam. He talks about the people he killed and tortured and hung up in trees and the villages he burned. And the heroin that he smuggled. And I mean, Ned, you didn't have a problem with Vietnam at all. You said anybody who's got a problem with Vietnam was a pussy.
It was my kind of country.
Did you got spit on by hippie protesters when you got home, or they called you baby killer?
Yes, they did.
Oh,
Ned finds that somewhat hot at times.
It makes life interesting.
Ned said, you know, nothing's better than coming home and a Janis Joplin-looking bitch with syphilis spits on you, man. That's right down his alley.
That's license for a free punch in the face right there.
Exactly.
With syphilis.
You know, back in 74, 73, Ned, when you're coming home, some bitch spits on you. That's an open invitation for a free mouth punching,
free blasting.
That's right. Nobody's going to arrest a war veteran from getting spit on for blasting the bitch's front two bicuspids out. Now, are they?
I think at least that's something that we've learned from the 60s is we don't blame the people in the military for what their bosses send them to do.
That's the only thing we've learned. Anyway, Tuck, anything else you got going on, kid?
No. I just flew all night across the country. I'm going to go pass out for an hour.
You know what you need, Tuck? You need a Marlboro Red and a nice hot cup of coffee.
I turned 40. I'm never smoking another cigarette.
Why?
Because they can hurt you, apparently. That's what I heard.
They can.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, they can. So that's my resolution. I was actually with people last night in San Francisco outside this restaurant who were firing up Marlboro Reds. And then a friend of mine said, "You want one?" I said, "Yes, I do, but I'm not going to touch it."
When's the last time you smoked a joint?
Oh, it's been a number of years. I can't handle that anymore. It makes me stupid.
What, marijuana makes you stupid?
It does make me. It makes me stupid. I mean, I grew up in La Jolla, California, so there was some marijuana.
Now, maybe
good stuff too.
Maybe Tucker can help me, and being having tried marijuana, and Brent, you guys can chime in. I got a good friend of mine, right? And he broke up with his girlfriend on Sunday night, but then he got some new weed, right? And he was all by himself, and he tried out this new weed, and he goes, "Bubba, what you don't understand is new weed is a lot different than the weed you're used to. And when you get on some new weed," he goes, and then he got all crazy, and he got on the new weed, and he's like, and he called her back up, because I guess marijuana gets you all kabukied out and stuff, and next thing you know, they're back together as of yesterday.
Is that true? Marijuana brought them together?
And he blames it on, not only marijuana, but brand new weed. He blames it on new weed, the new 09 weed. Now, does my buddy got an ounce of validity, or is he just blowing smoke up my...
A ton of validity, because when you switch up batches of marijuana, because marijuana has different strands,
right?
Your body gets used to one strand, so you have to switch up batches.
Yeah, would it cause you to go back with a girl that's completely,
I've never had
disrespected you?
No, I've never had it cause me that. I've had it cause me to say I could care less about the girl. It causes me to care less, not more.
It gives you the opposite effect. It makes you hulk up and have no worries at work.
Right. So it has that chemical in it that's called effort.
Right.
Who cares?
All right, Tuck.
Wow. So it's like, but they're totally different kinds of marijuana. Sativa and indica are just different drugs.
What's the best that you've ever had, Tucker? Back now, of course, this is 10 years ago, of course.
Oh, more than 10 years ago? No, it was more than that. The best I've ever had? I don't know. I mean, like most kids in Southern California, I used to like to smoke pot a lot. But as you get older, it just makes you dumb. It makes me dumb. I need every IQ point I've got, basically.
You're very smart, man. You're dumb like a fox, my friend.
No, I'm trying to look. I know how dumb I am. I need all the intelligence I can get, and
when's the next time
weed just makes me stupid. It really does.
When's the next time you're going to be on Fox?
I can't watch TV, eat Captain Crunch. I mean, I just can't do that anymore.
When's the next time you're going to be on Fox? You still didn't give Brent the information as to when your show schedule is.
I'm actually headed to New York early tomorrow morning, and I will be on 1 p.m. with Martha McCallum from New York City.
At 1 p.m. tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. What's the topic?
I have no idea. I haven't talked to them yet.
That's how you roll, kid. You don't even need prep time at all.
Yeah, they can throw him anything.
You can throw Tucker anything from weed to the South Carolina governor to Barack Obama's the worst president in history.
Probably not going to be having the weed conversation on the air.
Right,
but I'm probably talking about gay recruiting efforts.
But you know what? I know you liked that one, didn't you, kid? Credit me for that. Yes, Brent.
You know what I meant to ask Tucker about? Ron Paul.
Horseshack card over there.
Well, Ron Paul finally got some validity. Did you know there's 245 co-sponsors now on Ron Paul's bill to completely audit the Fed?
No. Really?
Yes.
Good. I'm glad.
245. So now it's going to get done. You got 245 congressmen instead of just Ron Paul saying we need to audit the Fed. I think it's going to happen.
Why wouldn't you audit the Fed?
Well,
of course. Well, now the Fed is not the Fed. I mean, the Fed is like the single most powerful.
The Fed's big brother now.
Agency in the federal government. No, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, the Fed used to just, it's not no longer just the central bank.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. But finally, he's got that. And Obama, there was another thing that he signed this week, and he pulled a Bush, and this is where Bush's actions are going to come back into play on all of us. Is Obama used a signing statement to say, even though this bill passed, we're not going to keep an eye on the World Bank or the IMF. Even though the bill says that in there, we're not going to do it.
No, I agree with that completely. So 200 people, I mean, there ought to be what's the argument against auditing the IMF? I mean, rather the Fed.
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't want to audit the Fed. But there's
I mean, I think audits throughout the government. I mean, do you know how much waste there is in the government and stupidity? Oh, it's disgusting.
Well, so finally, I think it's going to get done. And Ron Paul's not out there on the island by himself.
Well, good for Ron Paul. I like Ron Paul. I just wish some of the 9/11 deniers would go away around him, but I like him.
Anyway, Tuck, I got to get going.
Quite simply, you're listening to Pure